Jim, our next email sent to CornyDriveThru@gmail.com from Barrett in Washington, North Carolina. Jim, hope you're doing great. My grandfather worked tugboats along the East Coast and on the Gulf of Mexico throughout the 80s and 90s. He was telling a story over a Saturday dinner and mentioned working with Dusty Rhodes as deckhands out of New York during the late 80s, as he recalled.
Now, wait, what?
My grandfather met him initially playing pool with the rest of the boys and asked him why he was working on a boat, where his money all went, to which, says here, Rusty replied, whiskey and women. Just curious if this lines up with what you know about Dusty, and if you know of any other lines of work Dusty may have had. So after the NWA, after he lost his booking job,
he decided to go out and work the tugboats. And he, you know, I swear, I think I've told this story before, but it's like one time years ago, the heating and air guy came to do my furnace service or whatever, and he saw one of the posters on the wall, The Masked Superstar. And he said, yeah, I used to live next door to him. I said, oh, really? He said, yeah, down in Bowling Green. That's where he's from. I said, well, I think that on the poster, that's probably a different Masked Superstar. He said, yeah, this guy was the original. You know, people tell their family members stories of them having interactions with famous people, and sometimes they truly believe them, like the Masked Superstar. You couldn't tell. He didn't know what he looked like without his mask on. But the fake Stan Lane in Memphis.
But maybe there was no thought applied. Maybe there was just some fat guy with a white afro playing pool with his friends, and some guy runs up to him. Hey, are you Dusty Rhodes? Yeah, sure. Where'd your money go? What are you doing here at the pool hall in New York on the dock? Whiskey and women. Ah, sounds about right. Good to meet you, Dust. See you on the boat.
There may be an element of that also. Remember when oh, God damn it. Who did they say it was? Ozzy Osbourne? They introduced him at a garden show, and it looked like Dana Carvey in a wig doing a rib.
Sammy Hagar, right after he was named the lead singer of Van Halen. Yeah. See, Cal Rudman was involved. Whatever happened there, Cal Rudman, as soon as the guy gets out of the ring, like, gives him a hug and escorts him in the back. So, and that's like the end of Cal Rudman's run doing anything with WWE, so who knows what happened.
It looked like Dana Carvey in a wig to me. Was that before Dana was anybody? That was 1985.
Dana would go on to be on SNL maybe a year later, but I'm pretty sure it wasn't him.
But so Cal Rudman just put in a fucking fake Sammy Hagar to give his notice.
That's what I've always wondered. Did he tell them, I've got Sammy Hagar here, it's great, he wants to come out and say hello? And it was just some fucking flabby guy in a wig gets in the ring, and in no way was anyone who knew anything about rock and roll, because the people pop for it, they hear there's a rock star there, but anyone who knew anything based on look and sound, it wasn't him. Right away.
And for the younger folks in the audience, Cal Rudman was a Philadelphia personality.
Cherry Hill, New Jersey.
Well, okay, Cherry Hill. People will probably know the Philadelphia fucking general area better than Cherry Hill, but nevertheless, it's very close. And he did wrestling announcing in the Spectrum and some of the stuff for the WWF back in the 70s, early 80s. But he was primarily, you may know the exact, but he was a music industry expert as far as with one of the magazines, one of the
Friday Morning Quarterback. He was actually his magazine.
Yeah, it wasn't Billboard or whatever, but his primary job was in the music business in that respect.
Yeah, anyone who wants to learn more about it, there's actually a great book called Hitmen about the era of independent promotion guys and that era of record executives. They have a whole bunch about Cal Rudman in there. Check that out. But all right, let's move on now, Jim.
But yeah, I don't think it was Dusty on the dock.
All right, it wasn't Dusty on the dock.